On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be looking at the very large DC Universe Lobo. Lobo! Now, before we actually have a look at the figure, let's look at the package. Now, this figure, I believe it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It certainly wasn't issued through retail, and I actually had to pick this guy up through eBay to get him. But a very large, very imposing figure. He's very large in size, that's certainly for sure. Obviously, being that he is a larger figure, he relies on a larger card to hold him. And while other DC Universe figures did feature all the characters on the backsplash, being that this is a Comic-Con exclusive, the back card features nothing but Lobo. You can see Lobo on his motorcycle, Lobo in several battle scenes there. And then down below we've got picture of Lobo's face here with the 3D glasses, which the figure also includes. And very notably, for mature collectors only, 14 plus. So if you're younger than 14, ooh, maybe Lobo's not for you. On the back of the packaging, you get a very nice detail. Bless me. I just sneezed there for a second. Very nice picture of Lobo on his motorcycle. And it says, warning, spacecraft approaching, scanning, please wait. And it says, scanning complete. Name, Lobo, status, bounty hunter and contract killer wanted across the universe. Real name, unpronounceable. His height is 6'4". And I don't actually believe that is a correct height. I believe he's closer to the 7 feet. I believe that's right. Weight is 263 pounds. Base of operations, mobile. Powers and abilities, immense superhuman strength, virtually invulnerable, agility, speed, stamina, able to recover from almost any wound or injury. Lobo is the best tracker in the universe and wields a huge variety of guns and weapons, including his favorite, a long, heavy chain with sharp hook on the end. And it says, warning, subject is armed and considered extremely dangerous. Do not approach. It says observation deck down there. What's nice too is that it's got down below, I think it says, you can see that it says Space Dock 0801. It also says Space Dock 0801 down on the stand as well. Let's see if you can actually take this out and have it on as a display stand. Speaking of on display, why don't we actually get this guy out of his package? We'll get this guy on display and we'll get a closer look at the figure. So stay tuned, guys. All right. Lobo is now out of his package. Let's get a better look at the figure itself. Right off the bat, I would like to also comment that Lobo is probably the worst figure I have ever taken out of the package. It was just a mess to get this guy out. I've destroyed the package in the process, and there's probably little chance that this guy is going to make it back in. So to the display, my friend, this is where you'll end up going. I'm afraid your box is destroyed. At any rate, a very nice looking figure. Very large too, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get everything on in the camera view here. Now Lobo, just move his accessories out of the way. Lobo's body is not original. Lobo's body actually is shared by Despero from the DC Universe. I want to say Wave 4. I believe it's Wave 4. But they share the exact same body. They also share the exact same weapon. And while Despero came with this as well, or Despero, I think this weapon suits more being included with Lobo. It just looks more so like something he would carry. But a nice looking weapon. And you can actually have him holding it pretty good. I mean, he doesn't hold it fantastic, but you know, you can still get him holding it, and it's not going to fall out of his hand. And you can have him kind of having the gun up and just kind of have him on display as is, if you like. But it's nice that they included it. He also does come with a secondary gun, which I think probably is more appropriate for the character to have him holding the smaller weapon. It is nice though that you can take that out of his holster and you can slide it back in pretty easy, no problems there. Speaking of holster, he's got a really nice belt, and actually overall details of the figure are quite nice, indeed. You can see these skull knee pads. He's got some blood on his shin guards here, and spikes on his shoes. And he's got this nice leather jacket. Well, not leather, it's plastic, but it looks pretty good on him. And the face, I think the face is really nice on him as well. Hopefully the light, there we go. Like I said, the face is really nice on him. Now, if you compare it to the beginning of this video, he did include like 3D glasses, which you can actually put on the figure if you wish, like that. Or you can actually have the glasses a little further up if you want him wearing them, but not necessarily around his eyes. I'm probably the type, I would just leave the glasses off. I always imagine Lobo more so with just his face. But the hair is nicely sculpted as well. And I think the wash that they put on it is nice. I mean, it doesn't look like there's too many different layers of color. It's basically just one color. But the hair is sculpted nice. And basically there you have Lobo. Now his accessories, before we get into his articulation, I'll bring the camera down here a bit. His accessories, aside from what I've already mentioned, he also does come with a chain that you can detach. And he's got these little elastics here, so we'll use good old red to cut them. There we go. And just unravel this. These blasted elastics, eh? The bane of my existence is these plastic elastics. There we go. He does come with his chain, which you can actually take out of his hand, or his hook out of his hand, and he actually does come with a removable chain, which is really nice actually. I mean, that's a nice touch. This certainly could have just been sculpted, but it is nice that they include it. If you were somebody who wanted this on display, you could certainly have him kind of with the chain out, and have him just almost like Ghost Rider. You could have the chain extended. I probably will just keep the chain on him. He does also include his trusty bulldog. Very nice. And really the detail is nice on him too. The dog reminds me of Ma Mutt, actually, from Thundercats. Mumra's little bulldog there. And I thought his head actually, yeah, his head can rotate. I'll just have Lobo standing there. You can actually rotate the head of the bulldog. Really, that's about all the articulation you're going to get. The rest is just a statue. Lobo's articulation certainly is far greater than his dog. You can bend the head, rotate the head. Now, you can really only bend it kind of left to right because his hair kind of gets in the way. You can bend the shoulders. Shoulders are ball jointed. You can swivel the bicep. You can bend at the elbow. You can rotate the hand, although this hand, not so much. Probably just because of the chain being there. But you can certainly rotate the other wrist as well. You can bend at the torso. Can't really rotate the waist, probably just because of all the stuff that they've added to the belt. You can bend at the leg. Again, though, not much, just because of this way the belt is. You can rotate the thigh. You can bend the knee, and you can also bend the foot. Sculpt is good, but sculpt kind of hinders some of the articulation, which is a bit of a drawback. His one other accessory, and this is why it took so long for me to get him out of the package and why I had so many problems getting him out, is his one other accessory in the, where is it here? In the package end of the review, he does also come with a Space Dock 1801 display stand, which is kind of cool. Now the back of his card, as you can see, there's a little instructional picture layout here, and you can actually take the card, flip it around, and you've got the very old school 80s style 3D background. As you can see, it looks like, well, it doesn't, I mean, the 3D is not spectacular, but you can see that it's got Lobo, like a little wanted poster, and then it's got some stuff in it where you can kind of make it out. It says wanted for crimes against the galaxy, member of the, but a lot of it's a bit hard to read. Wanted for member of crops carry without a sectors. I won't even bother reading it. But one thing that's neat is that you can actually take a Lobo, and even though he's a little heavier, you can actually display him on his stand with wanted and Space Dock 1801. The other cool part about the display is, if you remember the front of the package, it had Lobo down below, 14 plus. You can actually pull this out from the bottom display stand here. There's little slots. You pull this out and you flip it around, and when you pull it out, you actually have a set of 3D glasses. And these are like the old blue and red tinted glasses, but it's a nice little addition. And then it says inside, the specs better work, or some marketing geek's gonna need a new fraggin' set o' peepers. And it says Lobo the main man. I tried putting these on just before I did the review, and I don't know, it kind of works, it kind of doesn't. Let's see if I can actually get it. Well, obviously it's not going to work for camera, but what you end up kind of getting is a 3D, kind of looks like he's just ripped himself, or he broke through the wanted poster here, and then you can see the sun, or the galaxy kind of space behind him. I mean, it's not bad. I'll move them out of the way so you can kind of, granted, you know, it's not going to work, but just kind of give you guys an idea here. So, I mean, that's a nice little addition. Will these 3D glasses probably survive me having these on display and putting these away? Probably not, but it's nice that they included them. And there you have Lobo. So I'll move the display stand out of the way. Overall opinions of the figure, it's a decent figure, certainly if you're a Lobo fan. The only downside I really have with the figure is that you don't get a lot of articulation. I mean, the points are there, but parts of the sculpting really deter from being able to move those parts. But still a fan of Lobo, though, and it's also nice that you didn't have to build the figure from different sets. I mean, you can just outright buy him. He's not really available now aside from really eBay, but certainly an interesting character nonetheless. I would probably give Lobo here a good 7. A good 7. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a Toy Spot on the Comic-Con exclusive Lobo. And with that, I'll see you guys next time for another spot. Later.